Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and welcome back to the 90th episode of the Woo Crew Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host Matthew, and we have a special guest this week, my other co-host, Matthew, who's flipped horizontally with a photoshopped hat and t-shirt on. Say hi,
His,
guys!
his name's not Matthew.
What's his name?
Um, what's my name backwards?
Uh, Watmew?
Wehttam.
Watham. So we got Watham here. He looks pretty cool. He's got a nice fedora on, and he's got... Oh, wait, hold on. The fedora just moved off his head because he moved to the left. So if you can't tell, this week there's not much Lego news. So
I think this is the least we've ever had to talk about.
Yeah, I couldn't even think of an image to put down here. So instead, we've got our special guest, Matthew. Yeah, we got a few topics to talk about otherwise because I made a community tab post, asked you guys for topic suggestions. But I think one of the first things we were going to talk about with Matthew here is the potential future guests on the podcast, because this is something we've mentioned before a little bit. But I just want to share my thoughts on it. Obviously, we have Matthew right now. Very important first guest.
Is he our first guest? Is he our first guest?
Yeah. But
well, you let the guy from your last Q&A in.
Yeah, I did. It's Windrunner Matt, guys.
It's Windrunner Matt.
I think that video went up today, actually, as I'm recording.
No, it went up yesterday.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I watched it last night and I saw that the comment.
I think actually might have went up like midnight because I accidentally scheduled it.
Oh yeah. No, that's what it was. Because I was gonna. It was really late, and I was gonna text you like, why did you just post a video?
Yeah, no, it was meant to go up like 3 p.m. today, but
okay.
Anyway, so guests of the podcast. We've talked before. Yes, we want to do it. My thought is, I think winter break is probably the time to do it. Because right now, not you, but my schedule is like very, like I have very specific times I can do things. I'm only home for 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm recording all my videos, so I think over winter breaks, we should probably start looking into guests because we have a more flexible schedule. Because obviously if a guest fits into the short time period where we record, very cool. But if they don't, then it's like, uh-oh, what do we do? So I think...
Our plan for the first guest, we want to start off with a bang, so we're planning for it to be Olkert Christensen, the founder of LEGO.
Yeah, he would be very cool to get on. We're in talks, and he's planning to come on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, probably when I'm on winter break, and Matthew, you're on winter break like in a week, aren't you?
Basically.
So yeah, when I'm on winter break, which will be around December 18th, that's when we'll start looking at guests on the podcast, I think. And around that time, I'll ask you guys who you want to see on, and maybe I can reach out, and maybe they'll ignore my messages when I reach out to them, and it'll be very, very cool.
If we can't get a guest, we'll just have a Wehttam come back.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Wehttam?
You're the Wehttam. You gotta answer.
Yes. Should I do something to differentiate?
I mean, it's the same video feed, so...
I'll just... When we want to talk to Wehttam, we got the...
What is this podcast? Okay, Lego talk. So there's a little documentary coming out that was announced today. I think it's a fan thing. It's unclear because Ninja Whip, who I like that man. He's very cool. Announced it. Where'd you go? Okay. Is that an umbrella hat?
It's your grumpy cat.
Oh my goodness.
No!
Can we talk Lego now?
Yeah.
If anybody already watched this part of the podcast, I applaud you. I'm very curious because YouTube gives me stats of like the average watch time for these, and it's usually about 9 minutes for the podcast, which is good because like regular videos are like a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious about this episode because of this great start we had here.
Well, with our special guest.
Yeah, with a special guest. He doesn't even have a name below. I forgot. I didn't even put a name below. um. So, Lego talk.
Lego talk.
There's a little Ninjago documentary coming out. I'm not sure the full details of it. I watched the trailer. I don't know if you've seen it.
I didn't.
It was posted by Ninja Whip, who friend of the show. He's quite cool, but I can't tell. He said official in his announcement, but like Lego themselves didn't post it, so I don't know if it's official by Lego or official as in like he's just doing it with some like he's doing it and he's like getting the. I know Brent Miller's in it. I know the Fold's in it, so.
I'm gonna be honest. If he's making it, it's not official.
No, I mean they. Did you see a couple weeks ago? Lego came out with like a, Honest trailers.
Yeah.
They did a Ninjago Honest trailer, and one of the guys in this documentary helped on that. So they could have like the people who are making it are like known by Tommy Andreas and stuff. So it is potentially official. I don't know.
I would only consider it official if Lego's paying them to do it.
Yeah. So I don't know, but either way.
I don't think Lego commissioned it because I feel like Lego would have said something about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Either way, kind of cool. And it's just gonna be going over the 10 years of Ninjago's history. Very cool. Yeah, that's all I got to say. We'll see when it comes out.
I have nothing to say about it. It is very unlikely that I'll watch it.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's happening. Very nice.
Yeah.
Another thing that's happened this week is Ninjago was finally updated on Netflix in a very, very weird way.
I don't know anything about this, so...
Okay, so previously, at least in the US, up to Season 9 was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So then, today, as we're recording this, March of the Oni was added, which, very cool. I want to watch that season again. And then What?
It wasn't really a season.
Yeah, but I want to watch those episodes again, because I haven't seen them since they came out. And then seasons 11 through 13 are there, but so season 11, they only have Ice Chapter on there, and it's listed as episodes 16 through 30, but 1 through 15 are just not on Netflix.
That's really weird.
And apparently in some other countries, there's only 1 through 15 and not 16 through 30, so I don't know what's up with that.
That does not make much sense.
And then seasons 12 and 13 are on there, but as one season.
Yeah.
Prime Empire, Master of the Mountain are both on there as season 2. And then Prime Empire has episode names, but Master of the Mountain are just listed by episode number and have no episode descriptions. And like, what is this? Who put this together? They forgot 15 episodes and then forgot the titles for another 16. Like,
that's so odd.
Yeah. I mean, Ninjago on Netflix has always been a mess. If I remember correctly, like, seasons 1 through 5 are, like, named Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5. But then every season after that just has the actual season name.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm glad we finally have these episodes on Netflix easily available to watch. And
yeah. Whenever they get added to Netflix, I know it's always a big deal in the community because some people don't watch them on YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I'm going to guess a pretty big spike for kids because kids are not seeking out this stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're not going to know how to look for it like older fans will. So
yeah, and Ninjago is so like infrequently aired on like actual TV, so if like a kid misses the initial airing, then they just don't see it really. So
even when I was a kid, I don't remember Ninjago ever being played outside of like its time slot.
First year in 2012, yeah, but after that, no, not really.
Okay.
But and I mean, I don't know what it's like being a kid nowadays. I guess there is like the Cartoon Network app and stuff, which I think has them. But this like them being on Netflix is definitely exciting. Like it's definitely gonna expose it to a lot more kids, and I think. I'm glad this happened, and I hope they keep it up to date because they just added 2 years worth of content.
Yeah,
and I believe this is the first time Netflix has been up to date on Ninjago because
I think you're right.
I believe what was it? It was like 6 through 9 were added right after 10 aired, and then now all this is been added right after 13 aired, and it's up to 13. So there's every season of Ninjago is on Netflix currently, which is very cool.
Very, very epic. I like that. Yeah, do you have anything else to say about that?
Not really, but it's
Uh,
just if you guys don't know, it's up there, so go check it out.
yeah. What else do we have to talk about?
Lego wise, there was like what? Oh,
Oh,
Han Solo.
oh yeah, Carbonite Han Solo. So people hate this. I don't think it's that bad. My only complaint is that they're still using the old mold, and this isn't even like a Lego piece. It's metal. Why are they still using the original hair on this?
I really don't get like they've had like it's been how many years at this point? Like 5? When did the new Han Solo hair get introduced?
15 or 16.
Yeah, like I remember saying like I don't know why they're not because they have to update it eventually, and it feels like they're waiting till as late because there's been multiple sets to come with new hair Han Solo with like this piece, and it's just embarrassing. Like
It's been a lot of sets.
yeah,
Like it's not. It's not.
Cloud City's the biggest one. Like why did they not make a new one for that set? Like
Mhm.
come on. And then I think the Slave One came with new hair Han Solo with old hair.
Yeah.
And it's
Um.
just it's embarrassing. Like come on, Lego.
Uh, I don't understand why they don't, because it does feel like at this point it's time for them to do it,
Yeah.
like to make a mold.
I forget. There was one set that wasn't that expensive that came with it, and I think I remember saying to you because it was right when the new hair was introduced. Like, did
The,
Carbonite Freezing Chamber come with new hair?
that's the one you're thinking of, I think.
Did that come with new hair, Han?
No, but that came out the year the new hair came out.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I think that's part of the reason I never got that set. Is I remember saying to you like,
That set sucks. I hate that set, honestly. It's really bad.
really, I liked it, but I was just like, it was never on the
I,
priority list.
I got it for I think $13, so it's like I don't regret it, but it's just disappointing. It doesn't look good is my problem with it. Like
Yeah,
there's no place to put figures and it's a location, so it should have places to put figures, and
yeah,
it's just like yeah. The thing I do like about it is it came with an Ugnaught, and I now use that Ugnaught as the Mandalorian's friend. So
yeah. But I remember saying to you when that set came out, like, oh, I'm gonna wait till they update the hair mold because they're gonna do it eventually. They just haven't done it yet.
yeah,
But
I mean
it's now 4 years later, and like, where is it?
I think it will happen eventually.
No, it has to happen eventually. They're not gonna be so many years out and not do it. But
Well, they already are so many years out, but
yeah, but I don't know. I don't think 2030 they're still gonna be using that piece. But you never
yeah,
know.
it would just be really weird at that
I
point.
mean, there's some things that took like the Jedi hood mold was used up until like last year. Like that's crazy.
But that's not bad.
It
Like,
wasn't bad, but like it does feel like comparing it to the new one. The old one does feel like quite like old Lego, like the piece
yeah,
design.
yeah, no, it does feel outdated, but it still does work fine,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. And I guess it's still like the new young Lloyd still uses it and everything, which makes sense because it's accurate to the show. But
Yeah, like it's not out of production, but
I don't know. Lego's weird about updating their pieces though. Like
sorry, I don't understand the way they
no,
do
and I
that.
understand like maybe if it wasn't in the budget they introduced, it wasn't in the budget the year they introduced the new hair. Okay, but it's been multiple years. Like it should
Mhm.
have been in Cloud City. There's no reason for it not to have been.
It should have been in the New Slave One. I
Yeah,
mean, it's weird. It's really weird,
yeah.
but I
I don't mind the exclusive though. It's not bad.
no, I think it looks cool. I honestly would not mind having it, but people are like freaking out because Star Wars fans are so childish and they're just like yelling at Lego that this is the worst exclusive ever. Like, no, it isn't. Worst exclusive
It's the
ever.
catch 22 of people get upset if desirable figure is exclusive, but then get upset when the exclusive's not a desirable figure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Well, because here's the thing: the people who are very outspoken get upset when it's not a desirable figure, but the masses get upset when it is a desirable figure, and Lego wants to please more people than
yeah.
not. So if it's just the rich Lego YouTube whiny boys that get upset, it that Lego doesn't care. Honestly, Lego does not care what whiny YouTube Lego boys have to say about their exclusives. They don't care.
Yeah, if they sell, they sell. And honestly, I think that's a cooler. Like, it's not like they just stuck the piece on a keychain. It was like it's metal,
It's,
right?
yeah, yeah,
It's genuinely kind of cool. I kind of want it. Like,
that's what I thought too. I think it's a cool idea. If I had any big Lego Star Wars sets I was gonna get right now, I would consider getting it. Although I do kind of prefer builds as gift with purchases, but I think that it's a cool idea. It's something different. It's better, I think, than those like buildable R2 and BB-8s that they've had in the past.
And anything's better than Unkar Thug. So
Yeah, so I like it. I have no issues with it besides the hair.
yeah. I can never get over the Unkar Thug. That's so funny. Like, it's a nothing background character that they put exclusive to a book, and then they re-released it in a set. Like,
Yeah. The point of the book figures is to sell the books. That figure's not gonna sell the book.
no. But, like, I feel bad for all the people who actually bought the book who were, like, Star Wars completionists, and then it was just released in a set. Like,
Yeah.
all for Unkar Thug. Like,
Yeah, it's like the Darth Maul they did this year was really good. I actually bought the book for that figure.
I
Like
buy
that's
all the I buy most of the Ninjago books. The only one I haven't gotten is the new Teen Woo because
I've only gotten one of the Ninjago books for the J figure back in 2016.
yeah, but that one was like part of a suit line, so that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
um yeah, so there was the did you not have the original Green Ninja book one?
I don't have that one.
Really? You don't have
I
Tyranno Lloyd?
always wanted it as a kid, but that was before like I had money to spend.
Huh, I got it at the Scholastic Book Fair as a kid.
Oh, my parents didn't give me money for that.
Yeah, no, I spent my own money at the Scholastic Book Fair, but
Oh, okay. So I remember as a kid, it was like I always wanted it, and I always looked at it when I was at the store, but I just never ended up buying it because I don't know. I think my parents were like, "You're never actually going to look at this book," so it was easier to like sell them on a Lego set than a
yeah.
book.
See, I actually liked the books. Like, I mean,
I loved them when I was young, but when that one came out, I think I was already kind of past that age.
yeah, no, I mean, I had the Star Wars one that came with Han Solo with the medal on him.
The
That
I had that one, and I had the Luke.
yeah, I got the Luke from a friend, but the Han Solo with the medal, like I would look through that book for hours. I loved that book, the
Yeah,
Star Wars Visual
the one
Dictionary.
that Luke came with, is like I completely destroyed because I looked through it so much.
Yeah,
Like the
actually, no,
spine
no,
is
sorry, that one's the Visual Dictionary. The Han Solo one's the Character Encyclopedia.
yeah.
Um, and then what the Ninjago one? So there was the Lloyd, there was the Weird Zane one. I did not get that one
I did not get. Oh
because
wait, did I? I might have. I don't
it
remember.
just came with a regular rebooted Zane.
Yeah,
Which was weird, very weird. I guess it, and because regular rebooted Zane only came in a like retail exclusive set plus that book,
yeah,
and
that was weird.
then Battle Damage Zane was wide released, which was very strange. And so I didn't get that one. And then it was the J, which we both got.
Yeah.
And then there was the Woo from Possession. I got that one.
Woo. Oh, I didn't get that one, but that one was nice.
Yeah, and then
What did you get
was there
for
anything
that?
else, or did they just go Woo to Woo?
I think they went Woo to Woo.
Really? That's kind of
I
shocking. I don't.
don't
Or
remember.
maybe Woo came before J. I think he
I
did.
think Woo. No, yeah, Woo came before Jay.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Woo J Woo, and then obviously now Nia's coming, and I'll be getting that one.
I might get the Neo one.
Yeah. Nia one looks nice. I like that.
I like Jay and Nia suits, and I don't know. That one would be cool to have. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't have Future J, but
I might bricklink it.
yeah, it's not that expensive. I think it's like $2.
I know. I remember we were talking. It was a couple dollars.
Yeah. So I would get that because that's a wonderful figure, and it'll look great with the Nia.
Yeah.
I'll be doing some customizing to that Nia. I'm not going to keep it as is, but
Yeah.
um,
I might get that. Yeah. No, that's a cool one.
where did this conversation come from? Oh, the exclusives, the Carbonite Han Solo.
Yeah. Well, I think that's. Do you have anything else to say about that?
Not really, no.
I don't either. What else could we talk about?
So the Black Widow set appeared on Amazon.
Yeah.
We talked about a few weeks ago. I like the set, but it's 200 pieces for $40, so I decided.
Yeah.
Nope.
I couldn't just. I don't really care that much about the independent Marvel movies unless it's Spider-Man or like an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like I like the Avengers movie sets and I like some of the characters, but I like X-Men in Marvel more than I like the MCU, which I know X-Men are now going to be part of it, but they're not yet.
Yeah.
Um, So I'm just not that big of a Marvel fan. Like I like the movies, but not enough to go out and get all of the sets. And
Yeah, I think the
I
set's good and it's got nice figures, but it's not worth that price. If it was
it's
20 or 30, I'd consider it, but
it's the same build that came in a $20 set in 2014, which is really lame.
yeah.
Um, and I don't know. It's just not for me.
It
But
comes with Hopper Stranger Things, so
yeah, isn't it the same head?
yeah, it is. They just
Yeah, I
replaced
thought so.
it.
So it's just not that interesting to me. I'm probably not even going to see the movie if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. No, aren't you? What if they charge $30 for it on Disney Plus? Will you watch it then?
Oh, then yeah, I will. But I doubt I'll watch the movie. So I don't know. I wasn't even excited for it when it was supposed to come out, and now it's been a year since it was supposed to come out,
Yeah.
and I just lost any interest in seeing it.
Yeah.
So I know Turtles is coming out, and that has my interest peaked a little more than Black Widow because I like weird new characters when they bring them into the
Yeah. Well,
MCU.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, who would have expected that to be
Exactly.
good? But
So the other thing is the Eternals is very fantasy-esque, and I'm a big fantasy fan. So it's up my alley. It's something different. It's not too Marvel-y, but it still is Marvel. So I like stuff like that.
yeah.
So I'm more excited for that than Black Widow. I'm probably not going to see Black Widow, especially because she's dead. Like that's.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I guess COVID hit right at the right time for the MCU because they like released all their big ones and then it hit. But
Yeah.
like I think we talked about this a little bit last week, but it's kind of dying now because
Yeah.
they've been delaying this one movie for so long.
I don't see anyone talk about the MCU anymore.
No.
Like
I will watch WandaVision when that comes out because that looks kind of sick. But
I agree. I will watch that. I mean, although I say I will watch it, I don't know if I will honestly. Like, if people are really talking about it, I might, but I'm not super personally interested in
I
it.
saw the trailer and it looked kind of epic. So
I watched the trailer also, and it's like I couldn't really tell what was going on.
yeah,
Honestly,
well, it just seems fun.
yeah. Um, I'll probably watch the Bucky and
Falcon.
Falcon show also because
See, I don't care about that one at all.
I like them.
It just feels like I don't know. It just those characters, neither of them are that interesting to me. I've never really cared for the Captain America movies that much, but Scarlet Witch and Vision, listen, they're not the most developed in the MCU. They have fun powers, and they're like,
Yeah.
it feels very superhero-y. While that, like, I expect the Falcon and the Winter Soldier to just be like buddy cop TV show.
Yeah,
it's like not for me.
I'm just not into the MCU like that,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
We got Mandalorian has started again.
Yes. So Mandalorian season 2, episode 1 has come out, or Mandalorian chapter 9, as they're calling it.
Yeah.
Spoiler talk. I assume we're gonna have.
Yeah, because you can't talk about much without spoilers
Okay,
here.
so spoiler talk. If you have not seen the Mandalorian season 2, episode 1, click off video or skip ahead so you can avoid the spoilers. Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah. We both have seen it. I really liked how they included the Great Devourer from Ninjago. That was a very epic reference.
He's spicy.
Yeah, he blew up just like in Ninjago. That was cool. I don't know how they got him back alive between the shows, but that was.
It was his sister.
Oh, okay. I enjoyed it though.
Right? Wehttam.
And Boba Fett is back.
Yep. I texted my boy Bricks by Mind the day Mandalorian came out because I thought he posted Boba Fett as a spoiler.
Yeah, so I do. For those who don't know, I do a daily minifigure review on my Instagram, and I schedule them in advance usually because sometimes I'm busy with school and stuff, and I had scheduled Boba Fett to go up on the day of the Mandalorian premiere because Boba Fett wears Mandalorian armor, and I was correct in the comments that Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian, but he wears Mandalorian armor. But yeah, Matt texted me, he's like, "Hey, you might want to put a spoiler alert on your post," and I said, "Why?" Because I hadn't seen the episode yet. And then you're like,
yes.
"Oh well, oops."
Boba Fett has returned, and he's not dead.
No, wow, shocking. Like,
Whoa.
we'll see how that goes, because Boba Fett has never been a character. Like,
Yeah, I feel kind of cynical about that.
what do you mean?
Like I don't. I've never been a Boba Fett fan, and I mean, if they flesh him out, that's cool. But like, why is he just chilling on Tatooine still?
Yeah, he's always been just like. I mean, I liked him in Lego Star Wars too, the little bounty hunter missions where he could blow up the
Yeah,
silver bricks. That was pretty cool.
yeah,
But if you go back and watch the movies, he's a child in one of them, and then in the other two, he has like one or two lines, and then he dies.
yeah. And he doesn't even die. Like he's never really shown to be that cool. Like his armor is cool, but that's about it.
Yeah, so he just sort of flies in the pit and dies. But I don't know. Mandalorian is just nostalgia bait, just like everything that modern Star Wars
Yeah.
is. But I feel like it's done a lot more tastefully than like the sequels did it.
Yeah, and I like the character and world building. I like that they keep using Tatooine. I don't think. I think you said you don't.
I didn't like it the first time. This time made a little bit more sense because, like, okay, it makes sense for, like, if they're gonna bring Boba Fett back and someone's wearing his armor, it makes sense for him to be sent to Tatooine. But I don't know, the fact that, like, he, like, of all the places in this galaxy, in the first season, he just happens to go to the one from the movies. Like, that felt a little too nostalgia baity for me. But this one felt a lot more, like, deserved.
Yeah, I don't mind it, and I like seeing the culture of a single place. Like I like that they give the Tusken Raiders not just like they're not just brutes. They
Yeah,
have
I do like that, and
like
apparently some of them are actually played by deaf actors too, which is really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
Um,
and I like that. I think it I don't know. It's cool to like actually see them do the things they say they do, like travel in a single line, and like
yeah,
they they're raiders, but they're not complete savages, which I like.
yeah,
Like they're nomads who are trying to survive on a planet without water, which
yeah,
is I think a cool way to go about it.
yeah. No, I agree.
And I like seeing the interaction between the civilians of that town and the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, the
So
one.
I go ahead.
No, I'm moving on. So you go ahead.
No, I what I like about The Mandalorian is it feels very human for a Star Wars show, which I don't think Star Wars has ever been very good at. They're not great at humanizing characters and places, and it feels very human.
Original trilogy, they feel human. Prequels,
Yeah,
they feel
yeah.
very exaggerated, and sequels, they feel lifeless. So
That's why original trilogy is my favorite Star Wars
yeah,
trilogy. Yeah, you're right. That does it also very well. But I like when Star Wars feels human and actually like has heart. And I feel like Mandalorian has a heart where the most of the new Star Wars stuff doesn't. It
yeah.
feels very look at our big space battle.
I think the thing about the nostalgia bait in uh, Mandalorian that doesn't bother me as much is the fact that it's a little more subtle than in the main movies. Like, oh, Luke brought his X-wing back, and Rey's gonna fly it to the final fight. Like that just makes me roll my eyes. Or
Yeah,
Chewbacca gets his medal finally. Get it? You remember that when he didn't get his medal? Like it just feels like the most surface level. Hey, remember this? Well,
yeah.
Mandalorian, well, they have that stuff. It's like I think introducing Boba Fett's like the closest they've gotten to that, because
Oh,
otherwise it's just like
here's here's the thing I also have to say about Mandalorian nostalgia bait as opposed to sequel trilogy and nostalgia bait. Mandalorian nostalgia bait feels the way you feel when you're nostalgic. It's like it's sad. It doesn't feel like, oh look, this is exciting. Like, oh look, everything is crap now.
yeah.
Like
And
it's
maybe it's just because it's like things you remember, not characters you remember. And I know Boba Fett's obviously the exception to that, but it's like it's a and while there is like recognizable locations in Mandalorian and like creatures, it's all been brand new characters, a brand new story, and that's been what like I don't know the draw of it was been to me.
yeah.
And if they do Boba Fett well, I don't mind it, but it does worry me a little bit.
And they might not do much with him is the thing.
Yeah,
He might kind of be there, but also not really be a thing.
it's just the ending the first episode with like the silhouette of him, like it just it maybe rubs me the wrong way because I don't know. That feels like such a like oh sequel
I
fans. You remember him? Well, like if you're just watching that as like someone who's not like super into Star Wars, you're gonna be like, who's this old man standing here? Like
Yeah, I didn't. I'm a fan, and I didn't even feel like excited about that. It was just like I saw that coming.
yeah. And then my another worry I have is just like because there's like rumors of like Ahsoka being in this season.
It's not rumors; it's confirmed.
Okay, well it just worries because like is it gonna divulge into like you need to have seen every piece of Star Wars media to know what's going on here, because I haven't seen Clone Wars. I've tried to watch it. I don't like it, but
so here's what I expect. I have a feeling they will explain who Ahsoka is because Mando will not know who Ahsoka is.
Yeah, I guess so.
You need to take into account that Mando didn't even know what the Force was. They use him like I like when they do this kind of character where it works as a window for the viewer into the world, and
it's sort of like Ant-Man and Endgame, where like they recap everything because he wasn't around.
Yeah, because Mando has nothing to do with the main line of characters, he's gonna need exposition for Ahsoka just as much as a viewer who has not watched Clone Wars or Rebels will need.
Yeah, I just hope. I hope it. I don't know. I hope they do it. I hope that it remains its own thing and doesn't diverge too much into like, whoa, here's all these characters, check it out.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Yeah, and I'm also worried like. The Baby Yoda did not get much of a focus at all in this most recent episode.
Yeah.
Which was, like, that's the most, like, interesting part of Mandalorian for me is, like, who is this little man and where's he going? Like,
yeah.
And so seeing him, like...
Who is this little man? Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Part of my worry is that he's going to be sidelined for a while they focus on other things and we may not learn anything new about him for multiple seasons.
I don't know about that. I don't think seasons is gonna be what happens because the whole plot of this season is they're trying to find the Jedi.
Yeah.
Which will so I have a feeling Ahsoka won't come in until episodes beyond like 6 through 8.
Yeah.
Like anywhere she might not even be in the show until the final episode because I have a feeling when she sees Baby Yoda she will know what it is. Like because she knows Yoda. Like
you're a Yoda.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the interaction is going to be. Yeah. Because there are no Jedi alive anymore. There are not going to be many people who know what Yoda looked like because he didn't really go on many missions. He was mostly kind of just holed up on Coruscant. So I have a feeling she will be kind of an important side character.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I don't think there's anyone else besides Luke and Ahsoka alive from the Jedi.
What about the Star Wars Rebels characters?
They're dead.
Are they?
There's one that's I honestly haven't seen Rebels, but I think there was one that was shot into space and is like AWOL. But otherwise, all of them are dead.
Interesting. I haven't seen it either, so.
And most of them didn't know Yoda. Like, the one Jedi character is dead.
Okay. Another thing I want to say is that opening scene, kind of awesome, but the Cyclops character was so terribly acted.
Yeah.
He was so bad, and I was like, really, you gonna open with this?
Yeah.
But Mando was cool, so I didn't mind it that much.
I love Mando's character. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters now. It's good. It's good. You should get the Razor Crest stuff.
Yeah, I plan on it. So in conclusion, my review of Mandalorian Chapter 9 is Baby Yoda cute. How about you, Matthew?
I say Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. There we go. Thank you, everybody. I want to address some criticism we had in last week's episode of the Woo podcast. We had a comment typed in caps lock telling us that we are always on our phones during the podcast. I don't know what podcast you're watching, but we are not.
I will admit, today I have checked my phone a bit because I have a lot of homework and I was checking the group chat for one of my classes. But
we are not playing on our phones, as this may have suggested. Sometimes I do have my phone out when we're talking, but that is usually if we are discussing a set or something. I will have images on my phone.
Yeah.
Said set.
And if you are talking about me looking down, that is because all I can see is my face, and I have lots of minifigures on my desk, so I'm looking at the minifigures and not my face, because it's kind of weird to just stare at myself for 45 minutes.
Yeah, because I'll probably work on getting this figured out at some point, but the way my recording setup works, I cannot film myself and broadcast my video to Matthew at the same time, so he can only see himself.
Yeah.
Well, you, the viewer, can see both of us, so.
And it's weird to look at yourself talking for a long time.
But I want to reassure everybody that no, we are not playing on our phones during the podcast. I don't know what we'd be playing, but we are not.
I'm playing Clash of Clans.
I am playing Pokemon Go in my room.
Okay. Yeah, that's very epic.
Very, very cool.
Yes.
Have we said it all?
No.
No. What is there? What else is there to be said?
We didn't tell them what to comment.
Oh, what should they comment? Say hello, Watthew. If you
No.
What?
Watham.
Watham. Yeah.
If you're gonna say his name, get it right.
It's just Matthew spelled backwards. Just comment hello and then Matthew spelled backwards if you watch
Yep.
this one.
If you guys like Wathium, he'll never come back again.
Oh no, Watham. Sometimes during recording, I've just been looking up and seeing Watham right there. By the way, the shirt he's wearing is like I just Google searched Ninjago shirt PNG. It's like cut off so you can't really see it, but it's like someone's art of like Lloyd that's clearly traced on a t-shirt.
I kind of look forward to seeing this.
Yeah, it's it's really funny. This is the best episode of the podcast yet.
I don't think it is, but
I think it is.
if you guys want us to talk about more things next week, tell Lego to reveal things.
Yes, because Lego did not reveal much. Also, for episodes like this where we don't have much to talk about, I have been putting up a suggestion thread for you guys to leave suggestions. We tend to get a lot of the same things of just like, hey, predictions for season 14.
Yeah, ask us about things that necessarily don't just ask us about Ninjago stuff. We are both Lego fans and fans of other things, so you can ask us about like not just Ninjago because
and stuff like predictions and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like we've discussed that a little bit in the past, and I know not everybody watches all the way through every episode of the podcast, which is fine, but like we don't want to repeat ourselves every episode, so.
And here's the other thing about predictions. I don't have a deep understanding of all the Ninjago stuff like a lot of the viewership does. Like, I understand this is a Ninjago channel.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, a super fan of Ninjago.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not much to predict. Like, if I had a theory, I'd make a theory video, but, like, I don't know, on a whim, I don't know, I don't have really any theories to discuss. So we get that question a lot, and if we had something to say, we'd say it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I enjoy the show, and I buy the sets, but I don't really think about it outside of, like, huh, that was good.
Yeah, and I appreciate, like, everybody commenting, but, like, just to address, like, why we don't usually answer those questions, that is why. But,
yeah.
And then other times, like, someone will be like, for example, like, this week, the Netflix thing, people asked us to talk about that, and we did, but, like, something like that, there's not much to talk about there other than say, yes, this is a thing that happened, so more, like, I don't know, discussion topics rather than just, like, or, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that it's hard to talk about some of the stuff that we get suggested because it's not a discussion topic, it's just like this is, like, it's a statement, it's not a question, or...
This is a thing, discuss it.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I discuss just this thing? Like...
Yeah. What would be an example of, like, a good discussion?
When you're suggesting a topic, think about how you're phrasing the question. If it's something you can say, what are your thoughts on something? Then that's usually something that can be discussed. But if it's just talk about thing that happened, if there's nothing to add to thing that happened, like something where we can form an opinion, we can't really form an opinion on Netflix putting Ninjago on. I will mention it just for like the viewers to know, like, hey, Ninjago's on Netflix, but like that's not something we can discuss. If there's something like we can form an opinion on.
Yeah, you can't say, what are your thoughts on Netflix putting Ninjago up?
Yeah, like it's good.
We can't have thoughts on that.
Yeah, so just...
something else that's, I think, fun, like a character versus character who would win.
Yeah, I got that in my Q&A this week.
I know, I saw the Q&A. It was Dareth versus Dove.
Dove, yeah.
That's fun. That would be fun to talk about. It's something to talk about. And it would probably be pretty entertaining to watch. So if you have stuff like that, or like actual questions that we can talk about, like a what are your thoughts on kind of question, and it does not have to just be Ninjago.
Yeah, it could
because
be Lego. It could be like pop culture, like Mandalorian and stuff. Like,
we've been at this for almost 4 months. We've given our thoughts on most Ninjago things
yeah,
at
and
this.
obviously it's still a little bit till we get the new stuff. Well, when the new stuff's out, like when the sets are out, we'll talk about them. When the show's out, we'll talk about it. But until then, like, we might,
Yeah, the October through December is kind of a drought in terms of Lego news and whatnot because they don't.
especially with like Ninjago, because I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's January to May, which is a 5 month period, and then it's May to December, which is a 7th month period. So it's like this is the longest drought, and we're like in like the low point right now because we're like Master of the Mountain's been out for what 5 months at this point, but we're still a little while away from getting news about season 14. So it's just like we're it's Master of the Mountain has been discussed to its extent, and the stuff we know about season 14, we have not gotten any new info in months. So
yeah. When we know things, we will talk about them.
Exactly. When there's things to like when the set pictures come out, we could give show theories because there's things to theorize on. But right now, it's like discuss theories for season 14. All we know is Lloyd is in it. That's about it. So like, there's not much theory to be had at the moment.
Yeah. So thank you for giving us. Like,
I want to make it clear. Like, we're not upset that like you guys suggest these things. We just want to provide some context as because we get all these like we got I think there's 44 responses currently, and I appreciate everyone that asked, but I just want to explain why we don't discuss certain things because
But yeah, no, I think was important to touch on.
I think so too.
The other thing is, I think we should probably put those out a couple days in advance instead of like the day of.
Yeah, no, it's just we usually put it out because we like we're sitting down to the corner like, oh wait, no Legos came out this week.
Do you want to start putting them out every Thursday? So even if there is Lego news, we could have them.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you can schedule community tab posts, but it might be a good idea. It might be a good idea to like every Wednesday or Thursday, like when they go up, ask people what we should talk about next time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So if there is news, then we don't have to tap into that. But if we do need to tap into that, we have stuff there.
Yeah, and that way, I know you don't always like interact with people on the Reddit and stuff, so that'd be a cool way to like interact with the community more.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think that's probably pretty important.
Yes, no, definitely. And I love everybody who watches the podcast. Like, it's very, very cool that you guys sit through and watch us talk about whatever we're talking about.
And this is the longest we've gone with a podcast, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, not counting the original stream, but podcast.
No, that was like a year.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think for this episode though, we're about done, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
So thank you everybody for watching this week's episode of the Woo Crew Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please press like. Because of Matthew is not kicked off this week because I had planned to kick him off. We did not reach 100 likes. We did not reach 100 likes, so we'll lower the bar. If this video reaches 75 likes, he will not be kicked off next week's episode of the podcast. But
I want to give a special thank you to Wehttam for coming. He has a very busy schedule. And it means a lot that he could make it. Just so everyone knows, he is actually my girlfriend.
Oh, wow. Wow. Girlfriend reveal. Wow. That's what you gave the people what they wanted. He's actually my girlfriend, too. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in next Wednesday where there's hopefully more LEGO news. And I'll see you in the next one. Yep. Bye-bye. Bye, Matthew.
Bye, Matthew. So have you talked to the network at all about the Grumpy Cat podcast?
I have. I've been in talks, and I think they're ready to renew it. There's been a fan outcry at the lack of the Grumpy Cat podcast, and I think they're ready to bring it back whenever you are. They obviously need the host. They're looking into maybe doing a dual host system where maybe you could get a second person on to host with you.
That would be pretty cool.
Maybe someone who looks a lot like you but's wearing a t-shirt and a nice little hat.
T-shirt and a little hat.
I don't know if you know anybody like that.
It's been a long time since I've gone by that name.
What name?
I left that life a long time ago. But I'm in.
Did we get 100 likes? Are you even allowed on this podcast?
I
No,
doubt
we
it.
didn't. We didn't. You're not. Get off the podcast.
Well, we have a guest today, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah. Hey
our
everyone.
guest cannot exist without me.